back to another amazing video here at IXCLUSV. Today, we're going to be trying something a little bit different, and we are going to be talking about my everyday carry, which is something I love to talk about. First things first, if this is your first time tuning into one of my videos, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. I just hit 100 subscribers. Next stop is 1,000. So if you haven't already, please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, click that notification bell icon so you can be notified of more content just like this. I also want to mention the devices, products reviewed in this video today. I am not sponsored by or affiliated with, but there will be links down in the description below, so make sure to check that out. By the way, if you have a different type of everyday carry, also share with me what you like to use for some of the different product types, as I am definitely interested. Some of the things in my lineup I do actually have to upgrade and change. Now, first thing we're going to talk about is your phone setup. And for me, at this particular time in my life, I am an iPhone guy. Now, with the iPhone 15 Pro Max, I do not use a case on it, but it is because I have Apple Care. So as you can see right there on the light, this is because the keys in my pocket be scratching up my phone. So as you can see, I definitely need to replace my screen, which I have an appointment scheduled for tomorrow. It's only $29.99, but in my opinion, I just like the way the phone feels in the hand without a case. And I feel like this is the way that Apple designed your phone to be used. Now, of course, if you don't want to pay, what is it, $11, $10 and some change a month for Apple Care, you certainly don't have to. On all my previous phones, I did have a phone case and I did have a screen protector. But for this particular, recently, I just decided, I'm just going to go ahead and opt out of using a case. So there you go. Forgive me about that. Now, the next thing I always have to have, look at that. Crazy, right? Now, the next thing that I always have to have before I leave the house is a watch. Now, I have both the Apple Watch Series 2 and the Apple Watch Series, I believe this is a Series 9. And I personally have gravitated towards the Series 9 simply because I just absolutely love having the larger screen. I personally just like having access to the larger screen, which in most cases,
it's 5:18. Good evening.
Just little stuff like that, which I know is pretty stupid, but I just like little stuff like that. But yeah, I like having a larger screen as opposed to the smaller screen on the Apple Watch Series 9. This is like my daily driver, but there will be some days like if I get out the shower and this one hasn't finished charging up yet, I'll just go ahead and take this one off the charger so it doesn't overcharge, grab this one and go and carry on about my day. Now, the main thing here is that the battery life is bigger on the Apple Watch Ultra 2 and the screen is bigger. Now, I know a lot of people mentioned that because of the thickness between the two, that they just opted into going back to like a regular Apple Watch. I don't know if you can see that difference in thickness, but for me, if I have to choose, I'm gonna go with the bigger screen. Because if I'm gonna be reading a text message or email or notifications, playing music, whatever, I wanna be able to make sure that I can actually see what it is that I'm looking at. And one of the ways that I'm able to do that, I like to keep my eye on the stock market. So that's an option that I have set up there. By the way, speaking of finances, I do actually have a personal finance channel called Think Income. I'll also have that linked in the description down below. Make sure to check that out too as well. But yeah, so it's either going to be one of these two, the Apple Watch Series 9, the Apple Watch Ultra 2. There's an Apple event scheduled on September 9th, which is next Tuesday coming up. So please keep a lookout for that, as I am interested to see what Apple is going to release. So with that being said, since this one's not turned on, I'm gonna go ahead and throw that on the charger as well. Next, I have already done a video of this ring. It is the Ultra Human Ring Air. And this one, in my opinion, I love it because it does track, well, actually both of these are considered fitness trackers. This one, in my opinion, is more so geared towards sleep, as well as tracking things like stress, brain health, steps, your heart rate, your vitals, things of that nature, which this can also do as well. But in my opinion, they track things a little bit differently. Now, the one benefit, if I had to pick one, I would probably pick the Apple Watch, simply because it has Apple Health, which kind of integrates into a whole bunch of other products. But I do love to be able to get a better reading on my sleep, because it definitely helps show me how my day is going to be. So the link for this one will be, for the video that I already submitted on this one, will be down in the description below. So just make sure to take a look at that. So we talked about the phone, we talked about the watch, we talked about the ring. We got to talk about the good old faithful Apple MagSafe battery pack. Now, this product came out a very long time ago, so long ago that it still has a lightning charger on it, and they actually ended up canceling and never rebooting it. It's possible they may bring this back, since the Apple Air is expected to have poor battery life. Well, I'm not gonna say poor battery life, but not the same battery life as you normally find on most iPhones. So they may create an updated version of this, but it's essentially just a MagSafe battery pack. And because it is made with Apple, it does automatically just work with the iOS system and the integrations. So you can see the battery life plugged in right there. And because it does have pass-through charging, if I am charging the MagSafe battery while it's connected to the phone, it will charge both. Same thing if I'm charging the phone and it's connected, it will charge both. And so this is something to where if I charge my phone up at 80%, I don't charge my phone to 100%, but if I charge my phone to 80% and I slap this on, this phone, being that it works together with Apple because it's designed for Apple products, it will slowly use all of the power from the MagSafe battery first, keeping my phone at 80%. And once this dies out, my phone will still be at 80%. So it's kind of like just trickling and using the power from the actual MagSafe battery pack before it actually uses the power on the phone. So whenever I'm traveling, whenever I'm going to work, this is something I always have to have, because honestly, a lot of times I forget to charge my phone, or I'm always on my phone doing something. So in my opinion, these two products work great together, which is why I always have to have it. All right, so we've talked about the phone, we've talked about the watch, we've talked about the MagSafe battery. Next, we're gonna be talking about, gotta have some headphones, right? So these are the original Apple Series AirPods, which are old and dirty, but once again, keeping in with the Apple theme. As you can see, I am invested heavily into the ecosystem. These are the new AirPods, what is this? Audio noise cancellation. These are the ones that are normally $179.99. This one is also in the link description, as well as the case that I have by ESR, which is also MagSafe compatible. So I can easily just drop it on a wireless charger, or I can insert the USB-C charger. And because it is the one with the audio noise cancellation, it also has audio on the actual case itself. So if I do lose it, I can go into find my Apple iPhone and then ring it, kind of like this. And the cool thing about this is it also has like some type of location finding in it. So I can just easily go and do something like this. Which is perfect. So we got the phone. These are my normal go-tos. These are just like if I'm around the house, because these do die pretty fast, but then again, they are like 3+ years old. So I guess that makes sense. So we got the phone, the battery, the watch, the wallet. Now, this wallet is a little bit old and beat up, not gonna lie. If you do have a recommendation for a good wallet, please let me know. As you can see here, I keep a credit card in the wallet, which at this time, at least for this month, is gonna be the Apple card. Once again, works great with Apple Wallet, license, of course, ID, some cash. And because I lose my wallet a lot, I need to be able to track it, which is where that comes in handy at. Of course, I can't leave out the house without some keys, car, another AirTag tracker because I lose my keys a lot too, if you can notice a theme here. Once again, all inside of the Apple ecosystem. So there's that. This is just like a carabiner on it in case I need to open up like a bottle with a cap on it. And I don't really use this part of the clip, but I more so use this part for opening bottles and things of that nature. I know that a lot of people use like these key organizers, and I am interested in trying that out. If you do use a key organizer, and then let me know which one you use, and also let me know if it does have a GPS and it works with the iOS system, because I think that would be pretty cool. Next is a little pocket knife. This one is by Gerber, not that much bigger than the actual Apple MagSafe. Once again, I don't carry this with the intentions of actually using it for self-defense. It's more so if I need to open up something, a box, if I'm ever in the car and let's just say I need to cut the seat belt. You know, once again, not intended to like take a target out, but it is by Gerber. It is all, I think this is metal or titanium, I'm not sure. But once it's folded, very, as you can see, very small, and it just works. And last but not least is my light. So this is the Woobin G5. And as you can see, I've had this for quite some time to where you can actually see some of the usage on it or the ruggedness of it. This right here is the magnet. This right here is a loop if you want to put like a little string through it. It is USB-C compatible, which most of my devices are, except for that MagSafe battery pack. One of the things I like about it is that you can control the brightness with this little wine feature here. You can also double tap the on-off button to change the brightness. You can press and hold to switch to colors. And when you turn this wheel right here, it changes the colors for you, which is pretty cool. Once you turn it off, if you press and hold, it will flash to let you know if it's charged or not. If it's blue, it's charged. If it's red, it's not. And the cool feature is, I did find this out the hard way, but as you can see, this little indicator here or labeling shows you that once you have it on high, if it's in, it will burn if you have it on high. Now, not like say burn and start a fire. I'm pretty sure maybe if you leave it there long enough. But one day I was sitting at work and my leg was burning. I couldn't realize why. And it's because it was on in my pocket and the volume was on high. And so yeah, I found out immediately that if you keep this in your pocket and it's on high long enough, it will actually burn or get like very, very hot. So that is something that I did want to bring to your attention real quick. And the other thing I did want to just briefly mention here is when you actually have the light on or whatever the case is, if you slide this loop here that covers the charger, which as you can see, it has a lock and a unlock symbol, it will automatically turn off. And so if you have this pulled all the way down, then yes, you never have to worry about it turning on in your pocket. And once again, this is also something very, very small, no bigger than the actual key fob, actually roughly right around the size of the key fob, but it is so bright. I've used this at nighttime whenever I walk around my car just to make sure that there's no flat tire or anything before I go somewhere. And I'm telling you, this definitely worth the bang for the buck. Also has a clip on it as well. So in case you ever need to like put this on like maybe a backpack or your clothes while you're walking. And the great thing about this piece here is it does swivel. So if you have this, like let's say you're working on a car and you have this on the hood, you can point the light in any direction that you need it to be in. And in my opinion, this is very versatile. And once again, this being in my pocket, rubbing against keys, kind of gave it this kind of rugged kind of look to it, to where you can see the edges are showing the natural color. And in my opinion, I think I like it more like this, looking like used and worn, better than it did when it came brand new and it was just all black. Once again, this is just an everyday carry of the basics that I must carry whenever I walk out the house. Once again, nothing too crazy, but yes, phone, MagSafe, wallet, earbuds, pocket knife, keys, flashlight, watch, ring. These are just the absolute basics that I carry on my persons. And just as a kind of like an added one is some glasses. In my opinion, I always need to have my glasses whenever I go somewhere. But of course, you can always add a carry, a concealed carry to the mix in the event, you know, you're going through a place where you need to make sure that you have full protection. Sig P365 Macro, glasses, phone, battery, wallet, earbuds. Now I am going to be releasing a video of this one separately, so I'm not going to go into too much detail about it. But yes, it does come with a light installed on it. 17 rounds, plus one in the chamber, in case you need to get busy. Little pocket knife. This is my everyday carry. This may not be on me everywhere I go, because in Florida, there's certain places where it is not advised, it is not legal for you to carry, such as a bar or a place that serves alcohol, for example. But definitely this right here is definitely my everyday carry. Keep a watch on, keep a smart ring on, gotta take calls, listen to music, gotta have some money, gotta have my phone, gotta make sure it's charged. I like to keep a light with me. You ain't going nowhere unless you got some keys, right? And then a nice little pocket knife to get you out of those little situations if you should need it. So once again, if you all have liked this video, please like, share, subscribe, click that notification bell icon. If y'all do have any recommendations on what's in your everyday carry, like maybe a different wallet, which as you can see, I can use, or maybe even a phone case, but only if it's very, very thin. Like I said, I like the size of the phone. This is an iPhone 15 Pro Max. I don't want anything in my pocket that's gonna be bulky. But of course, as you can see with my screen, I do need some type of protection, especially a screen protector, or even the pocket knife that you use, or the flashlight, or even a key organizer. Please leave a comment down below. And then, as I mentioned, the links for all of these will be in the description. Once again, thank you all for watching. Catch you on the next one. Peace.